All right, and now we've moved into a new season of The Walking Dead. I'm Justin.
I'm Jessi.
And we're the Podcasting Dead, and these are the retro reviews where we are going back in time, kinda, sorta, and reviewing them from the beginning. This is Jessi's first time ever seeing the show or any of these episodes, so we're getting a fresh perspective on some old episodes. And of course, I've seen them all about 1 billion times. But so if you like The Walking Dead, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. But this episode, season 3, episode 1, it's called Seed, and it aired October the 14th back in 2012. It was directed by Ernest Dickerson and written by Glenn Mazzara, who was the showrunner at this point. So, Jessi, you've moved into season 3. What are your thoughts so far?
Oh, man. I am excited. I'm excited because I thought that it was going to be a zombie baby. Laurie's going to have a zombie baby, and it might claw through her. And she had the same concern as I did.
Yep.
And then, oh, my God, I had an epiphany about the whole it's in them thing. And this has nothing to do with season 3, but I got to bring it up because it hit me all of a sudden.
That they all have the zombie virus within them.
The guy that they found at the campsite, I think it was at the campsite, that had hung himself. Mm-hmm. I bet he hung himself. I don't think he got bit.
Well, he said in his note, remember, it was world gone to shit. Got bit. Yeah, in the note he said something about getting bit. But
never mind.
But that is a good, interesting point that there are definitely going to be people or zombies you're going to see. That's a very, very real possibility. They didn't die by getting bit. They were killed by someone else or starved to death. Or
it's so crazy because you find out these things and then you have to think back on everything that's happened. Mm-hmm. Like, what does it change? It's so wild. But yeah, and I predicted that Herschel was going to die, and I still don't know if he's going to die or not.
But he did get hit. That was a gnarly scene.
Yes, and it's so crazy because Rick he was just doing in the moment what he thought was best, and he didn't even think about it.
He just grabbed that hatchet and whack.
And you see his face afterwards. He was like, what the actual fuck is going on right now?
You know what? Live or die, though, at least he tried. At least there was effort. He didn't just sit back and do nothing or assumed Herschel was doomed. He tried to do what he thought would save his life. And leg or no leg, you got to appreciate that.
And it was a pretty good idea. I'll give it to him.
Yeah, it was. It was. And you got to see one of my favorite characters throughout the entire show make her appearance. The one and only Michonne, played by Denai Guerrera. That's the lady that plays her. She's awesome. She's a great actress. It's a great character. What did you think of her?
I loved her, and I was right about her, too.
Yep, you were. Yeah, because I got a little comic book poster down here of it's from the Whisper Awards, and it's got Negan and Andrea and Lydia and Carl and Jesus and Michonne and all the main characters fighting, and Jessi pointed to Michonne after the last podcast and was like, is that the girl with the zombies? And I'm like, no, maybe.
She is badass, and I love her, and she's so pretty. She's oh, man. And she has to put up with Andrea. Like, what?
Of all the people.
I know.
I mean, those two zombies had to be, less annoying to lug around than dealing with. And, of course, as soon as we get to the episode, Andrea's, dying of a fever or something. And
just let her go.
But
chop her arms off.
And you hadn't even got to see the extent of Michonne's. I mean, she is such a badass on so many different levels. She really is. She can throw down. I mean, she's a beast, so I'm excited.
She has 2 zombies on a chain with no arms or jaws. Of course she's a badass.
And that's super smart when you think about it.
Yeah.
It lets her, the jaws are gone, so they can't bite her. It lets her move around the walkers undetected.
Yeah. So smart.
Very smart.
So smart. Why didn't Rick think of that?
Where do you think she got those zombies?
The zombie apocalypse.
She went to the zombie department store.
Yeah.
I want 2 of your finest zombies.
She got them from the pants store.
Do you want them modified? Yeah, remove the arms and the jaws.
Anything that could hurt me.
I like that they have backpacks on too, so they're not just following her; they're carrying her shit too.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't notice that. No.
But yeah, she's awesome. I'm so glad you finally got to see her.
Are they her brothers?
I can't tell you.
Because they are black.
That's true. Well, they're zombies, though. I mean, they're you really don't know their race yet.
I guess that's true. They could be dark.
Yeah. You'll
they
find.
Could be rotten.
You will find out, I'll tell you that. So you will at least get some backstory on, who those 2 walkers are.
You asked me, where did I think she got them? So now I'm like, where did she get them?
And so with Michonne, this episode, we just see her kind of sneaking around trying to get Andrea medicine.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff.
And all her badass. She's such a little ninja.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
She is. And then at the prison, we find, Rick and them are like at the beginning of the episode, we see that Carl's grown up a little bit. It's been a little while since we saw him last. Because what this show typically does is it typically skips through the winter. And now we do at some point end up in winter, but like they do seem to skip past winter. And so we went through winter, and then we've got them like, going through houses looking for stuff. Carl's got a baseball bat as a silencer on his gun, which I find pretty interesting. But
what?
And then just remember that Carl finds that dog food, and poor little Carl's over in the corner just trying to eat his dog food, and Rick's like, yeah.
He's like, it's basically potted meat, Dad. Come on.
I love that. It's
Let
like
me eat it.
We're like we shouldn't have to be eating dog food type deal. And it's like, but it's still food.
Rick, he's just still proud, man. He's his pride.
He wants better for his family and for his people. Really, that's more, I think, disappointment in himself than it is. I think he feels like he should have found them somewhere safer by this point.
As a parent, I get that. I mean, hopefully, I don't ever know what it's like.
But then luckily Daryl's like, you want to go hunting? Rick's like, yeah.
I love everything Daryl says is just so nonchalant. I love it.
He did get him a sweet owl though.
He did, but he said it didn't hit the spot.
I've never met anyone that ate owl.
Hey,
I'd try it.
I would too, because I mean, what's the difference between that and a chicken or a pigeon? Or
owls are badass animals too.
Yeah, I don't want to eat an owl because that means it would have to die.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm not vegan or anything, but
you genuinely do have to kill the animals to eat them.
Poor owl.
Just chilling, like got his own new house. It's like, hey, the humans are gone. This is a sweet crib. And then, hey, who's this guy? But so, they go walking and they find the prison.
They found the motherfucking prison.
And Rick's just like enamored, like,
he's excited.
Oh, this is what we've been looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think how much protection that would offer, though. Also,
all the supplies in there.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
And then we get to see them, like, strategically clear out the yard, and then, I love that Carol almost shoots Rick. She's like, sorry.
And then when her and Daryl, when Daryl was, like, massaging her shoulder, and she was like, it's romantic, you want to fool around, and he's like, pfft. And then she starts laughing. Like, now I'm like, what's going on there?
Carol wanting some of that Daryl D.
Are they just joking, or are they?
I don't know.
Are they getting it on?
I don't know. But
lucky Carol.
We see Carol's, gotten a little bit braver.
She's better. She's not as sad.
Yeah, she's not as sad, and she's definitely not as effective of a killer, but she's getting there.
She's getting there.
Like, she was able to help them clear out the zombies. And then I love when they all went in with, like, the riot zombies.
Oh, yeah.
There's a really funny meme. Let me see if I can find it, of Lauren Cohen, Maggie, when they're all, like, trying to kill the ones with the SWAT gear, and then Maggie, like, takes the one and bends its head back and stabs it in the chin. And she's like, did you see what I did?
Oh, I love that. Maggie's so cute.
Let me see.
She's like the perfect combination of cute and badass.
She is. She's gorgeous.
I love her.
Let's see if I can find that for you. But yeah, I liked when they that one where she's like, did you see what I did?
Look at her.
But yeah, and then they finally clear that out. So they're working their way into the prison. What do you think about a prison as a place to start a life in the apocalypse?
I mean, it's like, in the apocalypse, it seems like a pretty ideal place to be. But in real life, maybe
honestly,
not.
I'm not gonna lie. Now that we know that everyone is infected, everyone is gonna die at some point and come back a zombie, even if they don't get bit. When you think about it, the prison is actually a genius place because you can lock those doors at night, or at least just shut them, and the zombies will not be able to get to you. So if somebody in another cell dies and comes back, if they shut their door, they won't be able to get out, and you'll just find them.
That's true.
Even if they do get out, they're not going to be able to get at you.
But then you can't, like, sleep with anybody ever again. What about Glenn and Maggie? Come on.
I think they just risk it for the biscuit.
Who doesn't?
I think that they're just like, whatever at this point. Glenn's like, look, dude, if I'm getting laid, consistently, and my girl wakes up in the middle of the night and bites my throat out, like, worth it.
When they found their cell and they were sitting there and they're like hugging, and she just like lays her face into his dirty zombie blood infested clothes, and I'm like, girl.
I think at this point they're nose blind to that. Like they've got to be.
They just don't care at this point.
No, I mean, you got to think, too, like, they make whoopee and stuff, and they haven't showered probably for sometimes weeks on end, and it's just like the odors have got to be just horrendous, but they don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they might be stopping and taking a dip in a creek, but the clothes have still got to be smelling funky as hell.
Yep.
But, again, it's the apocalypse. Who gives a damn? You won't get it however you gonna take it however you can get it. Just like
maybe they have COVID and they can't smell anyway.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we talked about a few podcasts ago that there's a theory that they're all like half deaf from all the gunfire they've shot. That's how zombies are able to sneak up on them so much, and maybe they all have COVID as well, and their sense of smell is just gone.
And we all just need to be worried about being infected with zombie now because it's hand in hand.
So how you feeling going into the season? You thinking it's going to keep up? Going to keep you just as interested season 2?
I think so.
When Herschel got bit, how did you feel?
Oh, let me tell you, because I was camping when I was watching this, and it was early in the morning, and I don't know why I expect everybody around me to wake up super early, because I feel like that's what you do when you go camping. You wake up early.
Of course,
I was the first person up every morning. Didn't make any sense. So I was sitting there listening to my little podcast on my headphones, watching on my phone. And when he got bit, I yelled. It was so quiet.
Woke up half the campground.
Yes, I yelled, and I felt really bad. But it scared the shit out of me. But then I was like, he's really going to die. He's going to die. I said he was going to die, and now he's going to die. But then he chopped, Rick chopped his leg off.
Right? So. Don't you hate being right?
No.
You like being right?
I'm getting the hang of it.
Even if it means Herschel dies.
I don't want Herschel to die. He looks so cute now. He's so rugged looking.
With the long hair.
Yeah. And he was like part of the group that went in there to like pick him off in the yard, I think, or go. I know he went inside. But anyway, so I think that says a lot about him as an old man,
It's got to be the most nerve-wracking part of getting that is going through each individual, like, corridor in the dark and having to clear it out. Because, I mean, essentially you're not going to be able to sleep well there until you've cleared out. And that prison is freaking humongous. Yeah. And it's interesting because much like the show in the comics, a lot of people that I know's favorite arc in the comics is the prison saga. I mean,
really?
In the comics, there still are some great, stories after that, but the prison saga is a lot of people's favorite part of the comic too. So it is interesting how, because like Otis in the comics, Otis is still alive at this point, and he's not this fat friendly old country boy. He's a skinny redneck who gets mad that Patricia's making eyes at a black guy, and Carol is completely different in the comics at this point than she is in the show. And it's the prison saga is really good, though. And you're going to meet some new characters. What do you think about this group they find at the very end?
Dude, I don't know. Are they locked in? Do you think are they in there surviving, or are they locked in? No, they can't be locked in because then they wouldn't have food. I mean, you know what I mean? Like they were locked in a cell block or something when all this happened, and then they survived, but they don't have food. I don't know. I'm excited to
You will find out. Yeah, immediately next episode, you'll find out what their deal is, why they're there, and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the one guy that talks, he looks so familiar. What else does he play in?
Which one? The one that said holy shit or whatever?
Yeah, and he has a mustache.
Little skinny biker looking dude.
Yeah.
He's been in a couple of other things. I can't wait until we get to a certain point this season that I can tell you, so they had original plans for him and they completely abandoned them. And I kind of wish they had stuck with them. Axel in the comics, I will say, I thought was way better than Axel in the show. Axel in the comics was this fat biker dude, and he always said things like, you dig and you follow me and all of that. He was a really cool character, and he's a little bit different in the show. But he's been in a couple things. He's in a horror movie I watched a year or two back where, he lives in a cabin and has, a lever-action rifle, and his son's I don't know. He's been in a couple of things. You've seen him in other stuff.
Yeah.
He was in Lawless. You ever seen Lawless?
I don't know.
With Shia LaBeouf and Tom Hardy, where it's about the moon shining.
feel like I have seen that.
It was based in Franklin County, which is like an hour from here.
I think I have seen that.
Though it was filmed, I think, in Georgia, but what it's based off of, the Bondurant brothers were like up in Franklin County, not far from us here, but he's in that. He's one of the ones that gets his damn ass stomped because he come up to like basically come up to like bribe them because the guys and the main characters run moonshine, and then he's like one of the cops, this guy that you saw in the prison, and like they come up there to basically like bribe him or whatever, and then the middle brother comes out and beats the shit out of that guy and another guy, and
I think
awesome.
I have seen that.
He's had a lot of small roles.
Okay. He did look really familiar, though, so I was wondering. But I'm excited to see what... Do
you think these are good guys or bad guys?
They're in prison, so...
That doesn't mean... Lots of good people make mistakes and go to prison.
I mean, I'm hoping they're good guys, and that's how they survived this long.
Maybe they're really bad guys, and that's how they survived this long.
Well, I don't know. I'm ready to find out. What I'm more interested in finding out is about this baby.
Is it going to be a zombie baby?
I think it is. I already thought it was going to be, and now she said she thought it was going to be, so now...
Now we see the roles are kind of reversed, too. It seems like she's ready to be okay with Rick, and Rick's just kind of done with her shit.
I don't blame Rick.
No. He
has done so... he basically came back from the dead and found her. He found her in the middle of a zombie apocalypse and has done everything he can possibly do to keep her and Carl alive. That's his main focus is them. Mm-hmm. And then she just turned around to be a little bitch, and now she's sorry and feels bad, and he is done with her shit.
Yeah, he just seems kind of over it. She wants to, I think she's trying to make good, and he's just kind of like, nope. Yeah, I'm done.
I really hate to see Rick turn into that person, but I can't blame him.
I was gonna say he was kind of pushed there. It's not like he was excited. I mean, he's and the thing is with her too, he's forgiven a lot. Like he knew she had an affair. Well, not an affair, but he knew that she was banging his best friend.
Right.
And let it go. Figured it out pretty quick. Didn't even confront her about it. Let it go. Was said he understood why it happened. All of that. And I mean, then she was pregnant and she didn't tell him, and then she tried to abort the baby and didn't tell him, and he constantly, time after time, they go through drama, and Rick lets it go.
Yeah.
And so I guess this time, after all that he'd been through, and then his best friend tries to kill him, so he kills him in self-defense to protect everybody, and all of a sudden he's the bad guy.
Yep.
I'm telling you, that was the dumbest thing they could have done for her character, was have her do that little because it's like you come on, man. You guys have already established that Shane lied and this was a setup.
Right.
Daryl told you guys that that something wasn't right. And then Rick comes back and has killed Shane, and Rick didn't just carry him off into a field and kill him. Rick didn't even take him out there. Rick was led out there by Shane. So I don't know. A lot of times, if you go back and listen to some of our retro reviews, we've defended Lori quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
But that was the one thing where I was like, okay, that was muffed up.
That's where my feelings changed for her.
That's where a lot of people started hating Lori.
Well, okay, I obviously don't know what happens between her and Rick, or if she dies or whatever. But if she hadn't done that, would it have changed anything between? Would it have changed? Would the show have changed? Would it be different? Because
what, if Shane was still there?
No. Did I say Shane?
No, you didn't say anybody. I was saying
if she hadn't done that to Rick.
Oh,
that little scene. Yeah. Well, Rick wouldn't be such an asshole to her now. So would it change?
If I wrote it, I would have just had him hug her, and her just as he hugs her, look kind of stunned, what the. But I wouldn't have had her act aggressively or angry towards him. You know what I mean? Then, yeah, I do think everything would be different. I think that if she wouldn't have acted I think that was, and it's been a few months, and we see from what she says that Rick's just not really even talking to her. So, I think that if she wouldn't have reacted like that, then it would be a totally different story. Because I don't think Rick's just mad at her.
He's seen too much. He's been through too much.
And we're only in season 3.
Yeah.
You ain't even seen a quarter of what poor old Rick's gonna go through.
Oh. Do we find out whose baby it is?
I mean, it is the apocalypse. There's not really any way to do a paternity test.
Well, I didn't know because, features.
I mean, I will say it is insinuated in later seasons. Like, you get, like, some verbal confirmation of what everyone thinks.
I got you.
If that makes any sense.
It does.
But no. So we're at the prison. This is an exciting time in The Walking Dead. And let me just tell you, man, season 3 ain't got no chill. Like, it's killing, like, everybody all the time. Like,
yeah.
And sometimes a lot of them at the same time. And you're like, you're going to have a lot of, you might even cry in the next 2 or 3 episodes.
Wonder why. Okay, so the new girl with the katana. What's her name? Michonne. Never gonna remember that.
You will.
Michonne.
You will. She's going to be one of your favorites, so you're going to easily remember that.
So
it's a really unique name too.
It is. Is there a reason why she just chops their head off and doesn't actually kill them?
What do you mean? Like,
she doesn't stab their brain or anything. She just chops their head off.
Well, number one, my friend, a katana is not really made to stab. It's made to slice. Get up on your martial arts before you come at me with that.
I'm just, learning things.
I mean, a katana is really, I mean, you can stab with it, but it's really made, and she does, like, stab some zombies in the head with it, but, like, it's made more for slicing. So that could be one. 2, like, even though they're still alive at that point, they're not a threat to her anymore. Like, once the head is removed, and it's not like she's walking around barefoot. So, like, even if she does, like, start gnawing on her boots, she's just going to be like, but, once the head's cut off, they're still just completely incapacitated.
Yeah.
So, and man, you said zombie heads. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is some schnit with some zombie heads later on this season.
Ooh,
some weird schnit.
Weird schnit.
Yep. But I'm super excited because you get to meet the governor this season, and he is a very memorable character. Let's just say that.
All right, cool.
And you'll get to meet him pretty quick. I don't think you're going to have to wait very long to get introduced to him. But so feeling hopeful for season 3 because you've been really into it for seasons 1 and 2. So do you think 3 is going to keep you engaged?
I think so. Because like you said, people thought season 2 was slow, and I was in love with it. So
that's when I fell in love with it. So I mean, I get it. It all happened on the farm, but I mean, like all of season 3 and 4. Well, they do happen at the prison, but they do go away. There are things happening outside of the prison. But what did you think of Beth singing? Like I said, we get it. You're a singer.
It was so cringy.
It's like nothing against her. If she sings, that's cool. But like we want zombies and drama.
Yeah, it's just not. Well, I guess maybe to them, I can see how that would be a nice little reprieve.
You got to think. You ain't got no MP3s no more.
No
CDs.
No radio,
so you probably do want somebody to sing.
Right, exactly. So I think for them, I can understand.
Herschel's like, sing that song you always used to sing for us. And, like, I remember it was like, when he said that, I'm like, no, please.
And I was like, here we go, because you had told me.
Yep. But then we had like Rick, what it just shows his personality is they're all like around the fire, Rick's circling the perimeter of the fence. And what does Herschel say? Something like that's the second or third time checking it. There's a hole in there. He'd have found it by now.
Yep.
Like he's just a protector. Like that's just his thing. Some people are protectors, some people are not, and Rick certainly is.
Yeah.
That's his number one goal, is protecting everyone.
Well, they had worked really hard to clear out that yard, so I mean, it would suck if they did miss something and zombies were able to get in.
Oh yeah. What a sweet prison it is.
It is.
What a sweet prison it's gonna be.
Sweet. Very sweet. Are they gonna make like a little zombie nursery?
Do you see when they were like, have you gotten to the part yet where they were like, look, no, okay, never mind. You have not. Never mind. There's a part where they're like, there's a funny part where they're trying to pick out like where everybody's gonna stay.
Oh wait, are you talking about when Carl?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I couldn't remember if that was episode 1 or 2, but yeah, when he's in there with Beth.
Yeah.
Which it's like, dude, she's like 17 or 18. You're like, at this point in the story, you're maybe 11.
Right. I thought there was a big age gap. But Beth looked at Herschel after he said something kind of like,
God, Dad, you're embarrassing me in front of Carl.
And it's cute if he has a crush on her, but if it's the same with her, that's just weird.
And especially, because the thing, and it's not anything they can help, but the problem with shows like this where you don't have big jumps in time, which they will down the road, but right now they follow it just, continuously. You have like little time jumps, but nothing massive. So it's like Carl, I think, is 10, in season 1 and 2, and I know we've skipped forward just a little bit.
I mean,
but he can't
Lori's still pregnant, so it hasn't even been a year.
No, he can't be any more than like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I think I may be wrong, but I think we learned last season that Beth was 17 or something in that age range, or at least Jimmy, her boyfriend. But anyway, she's too old for Carl. But then again, it's the apocalypse, so it's like, whatever.
He's a little boy.
He is.
She's a blooming teenager.
A blooming? She's almost an adult.
Almost.
But yeah, that was funny. And then there's something next episode that Carl's, which is just, I know somebody might be like, spoilers, but not really. But it's like there's a scene next episode where Carl's kind of a little brat. I want to see if you pick up on it.
What else is new?
Hey, he's a brat, but he is getting to the point where like,
he holds his own.
Yeah, like he can hold his own. I mean, he can kill zombies.
He saved Rick's life. Like, I mean, it's balance, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
And of course, it's got to be rough being that age in the apocalypse because you want to be your own man, but everybody's treating you like a kid.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because you're stroking the wall, and I can't stop singing "Stroke the furry walls." Out of Get Him to the Greek.
Oh shoot! I forgot about that movie's hilarious. I forgot how much I like that movie. Well, they feel. Have you ever felt these?
I can see how they feel.
So I gotta get it at some point around. What I really need to do is I've got a little sound wall I can put behind you, and I've done it a time or two, and it really helps to cut out the sound at the dehumidifier and stuff. But like my mic, I'm in a box. I'm in a square cage of glass cage of emotion. I'm in a square box, and I have the sound deadening pads on the wall, and if you ever run your hand across something, like they feel very soothing.
They feel good.
It's therapeutic. And then it's like you go this way and they're going up and down, then you get to here, and now they're going the other way, and you have to like switch your stroke. You're like
switch the stroke.
Then you got to switch that stroke.
Words of advice.
Anyways, but yeah, so yeah, I think that basically covers episode 1. It's a good episode. It's a really good season, and like I said, you're really getting into like some of the most legendary days. I remember like at one point Eminem had come out with a song, and in it he said something about like The Walking Dead, and it's like, man, even Eminem's talking about The Walking Dead, which I think that was in 2013.
He has to keep it relevant.
Yeah.
Duh.
But you're at the point in this show where it was becoming like a pop culture phenomenon. Like season 1, it was this new thing. Like, it's cool. We'll see how it goes. Season 2, a lot of people were starting to get into it. And by like season 3, it just was like everybody and their mama was watching The Walking Dead. Everybody but Jessi King.
And it's so weird to think about it now that I didn't get into it like everyone else, because if I had, this podcast wouldn't exist.
That's true.
So it's just crazy because...
Or you might have gotten on the original podcast, because what's funny is this podcast started because you introduced me to a friend, JP, who was really into The Walking Dead. You weren't, so he and I started a Walking Dead podcast that now he's not on, but you're on.
It's just wild the way the universe works.
It is, old JP.
Yeah.
And I don't mean he's not on in like a bad way. He just lives far away, and it's really, really hard.
Yeah.
Both our schedules are just...
Adulting, it just doesn't give you time for...
It doesn't, because he wants to be on it, but it's just trying to line up schedules that hardly ever works.
Yeah.
But it is funny, because if you were in it, you might be on this podcast, but they would be very different, because we would be looking back on episodes we've already seen, just kind of doing a,
And I think it's fun for me and for everyone else who knows what's going to happen to hear my predictions.
Somebody said that. Somebody commented on like the last one or two and said something about, it's really wild to hear season 3 predictions.
Yes.
This far into the future, just to hear someone who's never seen it making predictions for something. The rest of the world knows what happens.
I know, and I'm the only one.
But hey, better late than never.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
I want Lori to have a zombie baby, but I want it to live. I want them all, but they have it just locked up in one of the cells.
That's kind of dark.
Because they can't bring themselves to kill, a baby, even if it is, because Imagine a zombie baby. Even though it's a zombie, it would still be really cute. Kind of like, ugly dogs.
Nope.
Ugly dogs and cats. They're still cute.
I don't think a zombie baby would be cute. Newborn, not zombie babies aren't cute.
If it was a zombie baby, it would be, though.
No. Regular babies look like aliens when they come out of the hoo-ha. So it's like, you add zombie, it would look like an alien zombie.
Oh, it'd be so adorable.
I mean, everybody thinks their own babies are cute as soon as they're born. That's how we're evolved to think. Otherwise, you might not care for it as much.
See, exactly. So Lori, even if she did have a zombie baby, she would just think that it's cute because that's how we're
the rest
programmed.
of them are grossed out, and Rick's
she's like,
it's adorable, y'all.
We can't kill it.
We can't kill my baby.
They could just lock it up in one of the cells, but it could probably crawl through the bars.
Well, newborns can't crawl though?
Maybe a newborn zombie baby.
A newborn zombie would be the most useless zombie ever. It has no teeth, so it can't bite you. Okay. It can't do anything but lay there and gnaw at people.
That would have to be an annoying
cry. A zombie toddler would be terrifying.
Oh, toddlers in general are terrifying.
Yes, I know. We're still at the toddler phase with mine, so I know.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad you like season 3 so far. You've got so much cool stuff ahead, and I can't wait till we get to it.
I think Herschel's going to die. I'm just throwing that out there. Because... what's her face? Lori needs him for this baby. And of course, as soon as she's about to have the baby and the one person that can help her gets bit, I think her and Herschel are both going to die, and the baby.
So you're predicting, season 3 death predictions, Lori, Herschel, the baby, anybody else? I think I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure season 3 is where they get into doing 16 episode seasons. So it's going to be a long season.
I'm still sticking with Andrea because she's sick. She's sick, and she told the girl to leave her behind. Just let her
We're
die.
all telling Michonne, yes.
Do it, girl.
Let's just leave her and follow Michonne.
Yes.
We're cool with that.
Yeah. So.
Do you think Michonne's going to ever make her way to the prison somehow? Mm-hmm. Do you think Andrea's going to make her way to the prison somehow?
No, I think she's going to die before that happens.
Think so?
I think so.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yes. I only like the finest zombies. Excuse me, good sir. I'll take 2 of your finest zombies.
I'll chop the arms off.
And the jaw. But that's going to wrap it up for this review of Season 3, Episode 1 of The Walking Dead. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. And also check out the affiliate link in the description for Movie Palette. We are going to have a little review coming out soon where we're going to show the awesome little art piece they sent me. If you're a movie buff, a film buff, you have no reason not to go to moviepalette.com and order one of their awesome art pieces. They've got them for literally every movie. Forrest Gump, The Lion King, Fight Club. I'm trying to think of something else I would love to see. They probably do have one for Alice in Wonderland.
I think you said they do.
Tombstone. I would love to see if they have one for Tombstone.
Oh, I wonder if they have Austin Powers ones.
Probably.
Ooh.
They got to. They probably got a lot, but you know how you can find out?
Go to the link.
By clicking the link in the description. And if you use the promo podcast15, you get 15% off. So you can get money off too. And it helps support the channel. So go check out the link in the description and find some cool art. But we'll see you on Friday for another review. I'm Justin.
I'm Jessi.
And we're the Podcasting Dead. Peace, y'all.
Bye.